Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana and I am so excited to be sharing my love of makeup and beauty with you all. Today I wanted to do a bit of a unpopular makeup opinions video. If you guys have seen most of my other videos, you know I'm quite opinionated and I like to talk. So this is sort of the best of both worlds. Today I wanted to talk about some products or techniques or even categories of products that are really popular, get really good reviews, or are kind of trendy and in right now that personally I don't like. Now, of course, everybody's makeup preferences are going to be very different, so if you like any of these products I mentioned, it is not a personal attack, I promise. It's just things that don't work for me or that I don't like. I don't really have anything in particular order, but I do have 10 items to discuss. First, let's start off with the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Concealer. I have mine in the shade Cloud. I believe that's either the lightest or the second lightest shade. I'm not 100%. I get use out of this concealer. I have used it. It's not completely unused, but I don't love it. And it's definitely my least favorite concealer that I have. I don't really like the coverage. Honestly, I don't think it's as super coverage as the name implies it's going to be. And really, it looks a little cakey. The way I like to use this and the way I found that I'm going to try and use up more of this is to mix it with a moisturizer and use it sort of like a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer. It spreads out a little better on my face and then it isn't as cakey, but I do regret buying this. It's really expensive and it just doesn't work for my skin type. Next, let's talk about the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. I used to have this pomade, I no longer have it, so I'll just put a picture up, but I'm sure you know what this one looks like. This is definitely a preference over quality kind of thing. I think the product is good. I think I'm too dumb to use it. Every single time I use this product, my brows look ridiculous. It's cakey, it's goopy, no matter how many times I try and like thin it out, it doesn't work. It looks crazy, so I'm not a fan of this. But I do think it's me. I think it's just that my makeup skills aren't there. And I wish they were, but they're not, and that's fine. I do, however, like the Dip Brow Gel, like the one that's in the mascara kind of tube. I like that one, so maybe that one's just more idiot proof. I don't know. The next one is a technique, and this one kind of comes as a surprise to people, and that is no makeup makeup. Now, does no makeup makeup or really natural makeup make sense in some situations? Of course it does. Does it look good on some people? Absolutely. Does it look good on me? No. I don't like it. And it's not necessarily that it doesn't look good, it's just that it takes so much effort to look effortlessly flawless, and it seems, in my opinion, like a waste of time. If I'm going to spend 40 minutes putting on makeup in order to look like I'm not wearing makeup, I'd rather put on some crazy eyeshadow and some big eyeliner. That's a personal preference of mine. And so this is totally not like an I think it looks awful. It doesn't. It looks good on lots of people. I just don't like it when I do it that way. I prefer to have visible makeup on. That's just my preference. If I'm gonna spend the money, I want to look glam. The next one I have here is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Finishing Powder. Now, I've clearly used this, and I clearly do like it. My issue with this more is price. Largely because I don't think it does anything special. It is a very, very expensive powder, and there really is a very little amount in the pan. Like, honestly, I use this maybe once a week for the past couple months, and there is a huge pan in the center. I rarely pan pressed powders, so that is just, there is almost nothing in here. It just doesn't do anything that a cheaper powder doesn't do. I have an e.l.f. powder that I like exactly the same amount as this, and the e.l.f. one is $6 US. So I just don't get the hype with this because it's not anything special, so why are people paying for it? I don't get it. If you like it, I'm sorry, I don't get it. The next one I have here made me very sad. This is the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. I have the matte in Creme Brulee. This is supposed to be something you can use for eyeshadow or lips or cheeks, and they're really hyped up, and I thought I was gonna love it. It's really advertised to be like lightweight and creamy, and it's not. It's very heavy, it's very thick, it does not blend out at all. No matter what I use to try and get it to blend out, I can't blend it on my cheeks, I can't blend it on my eyes. I can wear it on my lips, but it's heavy and it's goopy, and it really feels like there's something on my lips, which is not something I like to go for. I don't know, did I get a dud? Is that why it's so goopy? Is that why it's so sticky? Maybe mine's a dud, I don't know. And I kind of thought about trying the foils because maybe they blend out better than the mattes, but they're also not cheap, and I don't really want to spend the money if I'm also not gonna like it, so I don't know. Kind of a fail, don't get why they're so popular. This next one is probably going to upset a lot of people. These are the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow quads. I have a Sayu here. I also have Cream and Sugar at home. I don't hate these. I don't. To start off with, I don't hate them. I'm just so disappointed based on the hype they received. These little guys are about $5 in Canada. I'm not sure what they are in the US, but that's a pretty good price point. And really, for that price, they're okay. They're fine. They work well. They're a really affordable way to just add a little bit of makeup to your collection if that's what you need to do with your budget or what you like to do with your budget. That's totally fine. But there are a ton of people, YouTubers that I love, that are claiming these are high quality, that they match Anastasia Beverly Hills. They absolutely do not. They are a little bit patchy, they have way less pigmentation, they fade very quickly relative to Anastasia, even when I'm using the same primer. They're just not high quality. They're fine for drugstore eyeshadows, but they're not high-end eyeshadows. They really aren't. And actually, they don't even really compare to ColourPop shadows. And I know ColourPop is a little bit more expensive, and so depending on your budget, these might be the only ones that fit your budget, and that's fine. They're fine. But if you have the money for ColourPop, I would always recommend ColourPop over these. They bummed me out. Next is the Pat McGrath Mothership eyeshadow palettes. I had two. I had Midnight Sun and Subversive. I have since gotten rid of both of those, but I'll put them up here so you can see. Now, again, largely the issue here is price, but there's a few other things. First off, I didn't love the color story of either one of those palettes. In pictures, I loved them. All the promo pictures, the pictures on the website, the Instagram, they all looked beautiful. And the color story that you get in the physical palette does not match those. I think there's a bit of, you know, the studio lighting and maybe the filters or the effects that they're using in their promo photos completely changes the look of the palette. So that's already a disappointment when you open it and it doesn't look like what you thought it would. And then the colors in the pans don't transfer the same onto the eyes. So you end up with like 3 different colors, but you wanted the first one. The other issue that I have is that these are crazy expensive, and I genuinely don't find them to be any more amazing than other high-end luxury eyeshadows. Personally, I think the Natasha Denona palettes are much better quality, and they're bigger, or more shades at least, for the same or even less money. The Natasha Denona middies, I think, are like $65 in the States, so they're way cheaper. I just don't get why these are so hyped up, and I don't get why so many people love them so much when really, they're not that great. Sorry to everyone who loves Pat McGrath, but they're just not that great. Next is another technique, and again, this is entirely one that I want to do on myself and can't, and every time I do it, it looks stupid on me. And that is the sun-kissed blush look, where the blush goes across the nose. I've seen people wear this, I've seen it look adorable, I've seen it in pictures and on TV and in my friends. I can't do it. I don't know what is wrong with me, but every single time I do it, no matter with what color of blush or what type of blush or what style of blush, it always looks terrible. It doesn't look sun-kissed, it looks like a burn. and not like a cute, like, oh, you've been on vacation, but like an ouch, that kind of hurts burn. It never looks cute and I can't figure it out. So I just don't like the technique on myself. I think I'm gonna skip it. It's a trend I'm not gonna be a part of. In spot number 9, I have more of a marketing term, and that is clean when it comes to makeup and skincare. I'm not saying clean makeup is a bad thing. It isn't, and there's nothing wrong with clean products. But the way it's marketed with this implication that it is safer for you, healthier for you, cleaner for the environment, when none of that is backed by any scientific evidence whatsoever, I don't like that. I think it's really manipulative to try and convince people that spending more money for these clean products is better for them, when in reality, it's not. There's no reason that natural necessarily means better, and there's no reason that synthetic is automatically dangerous. That's just not true, and it's just not science. Products that are clean are fine. I have several of them, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm just saying that I don't like the actual marketing of products as clean, because it just really isn't true. And finally, I have the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer here. This guy is really affordable, and it reminds me a lot of Shape Tape. I also don't like Shape Tape. I find this stuff so goopy, so thick, so drying. I cannot get it to look good on my skin, and I feel the same about Shape Tape, really. It just accentuates all of the features of my skin that I really, really hate, and that doesn't feel good. You know, a concealer is not supposed to do that. If you like Shape Tape, this might be a good dupe for you, but for me, nah. I don't like this concealer at all. So that was everything I had to talk about in today's video. Do you have any unpopular makeup opinions, or do you like anything I talked about here? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'd love to see you back in my next one. Bye!